everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Lexi and today I am bringing you my Asian Readathon TBR. I participated in the Asian Readathon last year and I had so much fun, so I thought why not do it again this year. The Asian Readathon is a 1-month challenge where all of us readers and booktubers, bookstagrammers, everybody who wants to participate is encouraged to read from a variety of different diverse Asian authors. The term Asian incorporates so many different nationalities and places of origin. I will include a handy little pop-up here. This helped me so much with working out how I could include a variety of different authors in my chosen books. And if you didn't know, this readathon is hosted by a fellow booktuber, Read with Cindy. All her information will be here as well as down below. She makes hilarious videos here on YouTube and always just has such an interesting opinion on everything. I absolutely love watching her videos and love supporting her through this readathon as well. So there is her announcement video, she has a Google Doc, and then there is a bunch of books on Storygraph to help you decide what you need to incorporate. Again, I will leave all that information below. So with this challenge, you can combine your prompts. So prompt 1 and 2 could be the same book, but the ethnicity of that author will have to be different to the ethnicity of the prompt 3 and 4 if you combine those, if that makes sense. Cindy explains that a lot better than me, but you can combine the prompts, but you don't want any overlapping of ethnicities, if that makes sense. Now, my list is not 100% perfect, but I've tried my absolute best and I've also worked with the books that I already own. Now, without further ado, let's jump straight into the prompts and the books.
Let's go kick some honey buns!
So prompt number 1 is any book from an Asian author. And prompt number 5 is any book by an Asian author that's not US centric. So I chose to combine those two just because I don't think I'll honestly read 5 books in the month. And my other chosen books are contemporaries, so they are pretty US centric, I would say. But for those 2 prompts, I have gone with Blood Air by Amelia Wenzeo. And this is a YA fantasy. So it's definitely set in a fantastical land. It's not US centric at all. And the author of this is of Chinese descent. I honestly think I was meant to read this last year for the challenge, but I never got around to it. And here we are 1 year later, still have not read the book. This book has pretty mixed views. I remember Books with Chloe was reading this and she really loved it at the start, but it kind of lost the momentum. So I'm definitely intrigued to see how I find this book. It basically follows the storyline of a princess who's trying to clear her father's name. And I guess she's sort of got that innocent appearance to her, and it's definitely a story of she is more than what she seems. It sounds super intriguing, and I also love that the writing is pretty large on the page. Like, honestly, we love not straining our eyes. But yeah, so I'm really looking forward to reading this, and I think I probably want to read it first just so that I can smash it out and make sure it's not on this list for next year as well. Hello guys, we're back. So my camera died and I had to let it charge, but we're moving on to prompt number 2. Prompt number 2 is to feature a main protagonist of Asian heritage. So for that, I've decided to go with the book We Are Not Okay by Natalia Gomez. So I chose this because it has actually 4 main protagonists, and one of them is Ulana, who comes from a conservative Muslim family. I have been wanting to read this book for quite a while, so that's why I really chose to pick it up for this prompt. Obviously, it would have been best to go with a book that is solely focused on an Asian protagonist, but I wanted to sort of bend the rules with this one so that I can really prioritize reading this book. It's meant to be a sort of coming of age. It's got 4 different girls all going through all different things, and it's meant to really deal with problems that we see in young adults and teens nowadays. And then I think including a Muslim character will just really bring something different to the book as well. It's definitely not as common to see in young adult books, and I'm really interested to read from a different perspective. I also couldn't find any information about the ethnicity of Natalia Gomez, but if you know, please let me know and I can put that into the Storygraph recommendations. Prompt number 3 is to read from an Asian author in your favorite genre. So for the genre, I decided to go with contemporary. I just found that I had so many more contemporaries on my shelf by Asian authors, and then narrowing it down to a different ethnicity than what I've picked before really helped me choose this book. So I've decided to go with 29 Dates by Melissa de la Cruz, and according to Goodreads, she is a Filipino author. The character in this book though is South Korean, so I'm not completely sure, and she's not really got like a profile in the back of the book or anything. It's meant to be like a coming of age, a romance, a young adult contemporary novel, and I really am excited to learn more about the differences with South Korean culture and our culture, especially in the setting of dating and setting her up on all these different dates to find a boy that they approve of. I think it'll definitely be a fun time. So prompt number 4 is to read a non-fiction book by an Asian author, and for this I've gone with Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur. I'm sure most of you have heard of this before, but it is a collection of short poems written by an Indian-Canadian author. It's also got really sweet like illustrations throughout it as well, and not too much writing on each page, which is always good when you're trying to do a challenge. Hopefully I'll be able to smash this out in like one sitting or like maybe 2 days max. And with that, I think it becomes really doable to read the other 3 books over the course of the month. I probably could have pushed it and had 5 books for 5 prompts, but I really didn't want to overwhelm myself with this. Hopefully I love it, and hopefully it lives up to all of the hype that I've heard about it as well. So those are the 4 books that I will be attempting to read in the month of May for the Asian Readathon. As I mentioned, I'm super excited to get to all of these. They all sound fantastic, and I've had them on my shelves for way too long. It's time to read them. I also just wanted to include a few other books that I own by Asian authors, just to give you guys some ideas if you were thinking about doing the challenge as well. I have literally a whole stack of them. Again, this is what I mean when I say I could have chosen a 5th book and just done 1 book per prompt, but you know, lazy.
Dishonor on your whole family. Make a note of this. Dishonor on you. Dishonor on your cow.
I'm not going to go into too much detail about each of these books. It's more like just giving you guys ideas if you did need some. The first book is We Hunt the Flame, and I've been really interested in this book for a long time, but I only just recently got it. One of my best friends just had read it and didn't want it on her shelves anymore. So thanks so much, Joe. I'm so excited to have this. And then we have Mooncakes. So this is a graphic novel. Again, I think this would be a really good one to choose if you were a bit worried about reading so many books in the month. But I am saving this for October because it definitely has those like witchy, spooky vibes. So that's why I didn't choose this one. My next recommendation would be The Astonishing Colour of After by Emily X.R. Pan. So this one is literally such a stunning book. I really, really loved this when I read it last year. Yeah, I definitely read it last year. If you are in the right headspace to read this, I definitely recommend it. Again, it would be one where I'd say look at Goodreads, look at some of the reviews before you jump into it. It is quite heavy, but it's definitely worth it if you're in the right place for it. This Disney Twisted Tales Reflection, which is based on the Mulan story, that I almost chose for this challenge because I do really, really want to get to it. So this is part of the Disney Twisted Tales retellings. So basically they take the Disney movies and they either add something to it or change a detail, and then it completely spins the story.
Punch him is how men say hello.
The next book is Warcross by Marie Lu, and I saw this on bookstagram. A lot of people were reading it a few months back, but again, I just hadn't got to it yet and it didn't quite make the cut for this challenge. But if you are looking for some more YA sci-fi books by Asian authors, definitely go with this one. And finally, we have These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. This is my stunning Fairy Loot edition that I'm so obsessed with. You guys know about this. So this one is a Romeo and Juliet retelling set in Shanghai in the 1920s. So thank you everyone for watching. I hope I gave you some ideas and inspiration for the Asian Readathon. Once again, it starts on the 1st of May and runs all month. And if you needed any more information, it will all be linked down below. Don't forget to like this video if you did enjoy it and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!